Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. I know I'm signing on to do this little chat a few minutes late. It's been a crazy morning. I just got back from Florida last night and I was teaching yoga this morning. Um, yes, but I'm happy that I'm here now and I am ready to dive in and chat with you all about meditation and how to get started. And for those of you that are new to the group, my name is Lauren Nicole Fonville, and I am so excited to be sharing a variety of techniques to help you relax and come home and center to yourself and feel good, because that's what it's all about. Finding practices that help you feel good. And if you guys hear my dog snoring, that's my dog, not me. Just want to throw that out there. Okay. So let's talk meditation, right? I have so many people and clients telling me that I can't meditate. I can't turn my brain off. The thoughts just keep coming. I can't do it. And so I just want to start off by saying you don't need to be able to turn your brain off. I feel like that is, people think of meditation and they think of monks like sitting quietly somewhere and in this complete state of nothing going on. And that is just, that's just not reality. We all live these busy lives, right? So if you are someone who is interested in starting to get into meditation, I would say, don't have these crazy expectations, right? Give yourself a short period of time to sit and dedicate to that. And I would say something that's really helped me with my practice is having a designated space in your house. Mine is in my closet. I have a little table in there that I have some crystals and stuff on, where I can kind of scoot away even when the kids are home and close the door. But it could just be, like in your bedroom or anywhere where you feel comfortable, right? I would say, sometimes I will meditate before going to bed. I personally like to do it first thing in the morning. And it is good to try, especially when you're first starting, to designate a specific time and space that you're going to be doing this for. And it doesn't have to be long, right? You can literally just start with 5 minutes and go from there and see how you feel. And I can say, having meditation be part of my life for, I don't know how long I've been doing it regularly, going on 2 years, maybe more. I can feel it in my body when I'm not doing it, right? And I think that everybody will, because we crave this feeling of calm and peace. Okay, so getting started. There are lots of different types of meditation. So there are guided meditations. There are apps that you can use. Headspace is an app that I used to use regularly when I was first starting off, that has different amounts of time that you can do it for too, and specific on different topics. So you may want to check that out. I think they have like a free first week, but there's also a variety of free meditations that are available across the internet. I have a few that are free on my website. If anybody wants to check those out, I can put the link to those. But so guided is one way, which I do think is helpful, especially in the beginning, because it gives you something to focus on. Because the thing that happens when you're first beginning to meditate is that you try to quiet your mind, and that to-do list of all these things that you've got going on in your life starts to creep in, or the concerns about your kids, or about the work project, or about whatever it is. Like, your attention immediately goes to, or can go to, those areas, and then that spiraling thoughts can start. You don't want to go into that and get stuck into that cycle, right? So when you're starting, perhaps try the guided meditation, so you're having somebody's voice to focus on and to follow. And I think one of Oprah and Deepak do a free 21-day meditation every couple of months, and There might be a free one. There might be one coming up soon. I will check that out, and if it is, I will post it in here because that's one that I love too. And then there's also, silent meditations where it's simply sitting in quiet, inhaling, exhaling, focusing on your breath. And the thing with that is that as you find your mind starting to wander, as you recognize, that you're drifting into another place, you just come back to the breath. And that kind of goes hand in hand with what I was talking about last week with those different types of breathing techniques that you can use, whether that was circle breathing or square breathing or I'm like blanking on the Ferris wheel breathing. There we go. And holding the breath, or the nose breathing, alternate nostril breathing, all very helpful when doing meditation. So when you find, if you're trying to do a silent meditation, and maybe you start it with 3 minutes, right? We all have 3 minutes in our day. Setting the timer for 3 minutes and just focusing your attention on your breath, focusing on where you feel the breath. Maybe you feel it the most as you inhale through your nose. Maybe you feel it as it moves down your throat, or as your chest expands, or as your belly expands and deflates, right? So bringing your attention to that area in your body where you feel the breath the most. And every time that you find yourself, your mind wandering in those 3 minutes, you bring it back to the breath and the focus of where you feel the breath. And having this awareness that you are not your thoughts, okay? You are the observer of your thoughts. So sometimes something else that happens while you're meditating when you're sitting there, and I do recommend sitting versus laying down because it's easy to fall asleep, at least for me, if I'm laying down. But sometimes you have, I'll find myself, like my back hurts, or, I just can't get comfortable. And sometimes it's helpful to sit up against a wall to have that support behind you. And so sometimes it's a feeling that you find your mind going to, like, this hurts, something's physically bothering you. And so you're just labeling it. Oh, that's a feeling. And then maybe something else comes in, like with that to-do list. Oh, that's a thought. So you're labeling the things as they come through, and kind of envisioning, I'm sure you guys have heard that analogy of like the clouds floating by, right? It's like each thought or feeling is a cloud floating by. You acknowledge it and you just let it go. And if it comes back around again, that's okay. You're acknowledging it and letting it go. And the big thing here is don't be judging yourself. So many people are like, I can't do it. This sucks. I can't figure it out. I'm not able to, and you're just beating yourself up. Not helpful. Not helpful at all. So go into it with, all right, I'm going to try this out, and do it more than just once, because it is, they call it a meditation practice for a reason. It is a practice. And the more you do it, the easier that it's going to get, and the more that you'll like it. Okay. And I know sometimes that can be hard to believe when you're struggling in the beginning, but give it a try, right? If you're at this point where you really are looking for something to help calm the body and calm the mind, 3 to 5 minutes a day is nothing, right? So it's worth committing to that. Commit to that for, I would say, a month, but start off with like 2 weeks, 3 minutes a day, just breathing and sitting there and seeing how that makes you feel, right? Okay, what else? Okay, so one of the comments was about ruminating thoughts. So again, focusing on the negative. And the big thing here is, what I was talking about allowing yourself to spiral, right? And we don't want that to happen. So the first thing is awareness, and being aware that you're going in that direction. That's number one. And once you are aware, whether that happens in meditation, or that could even happen like throughout your day, all of a sudden you find yourself thinking about something which leads to another negative something, and you're going through that cycle. And so if it's happening throughout your day and not just in a meditation practice, something that I tell my clients to try and do is to set an alarm on their phone as a reminder, and the alarm just has a question that says, how am I feeling right now, right? And so if the answer is like, I'm feeling great, that's awesome. What are you thinking about? now that you're feeling great? And if the answer is, I'm feeling really frustrated or angry or sad or whatever the emotion is that you're feeling in that moment, acknowledging what it is that you're thinking about. And so that is a practice that helps bring about that awareness, right? And so when this is happening in meditation, it's the same thing, becoming aware of it. And then you have options. You can come back to the breath, right? You can also focus on the exact opposite of the thought that is coming to you. You can think about something completely different, trying to, change course entirely and think about something totally unrelated to the thing that you're thinking about. And then the other one is that you can exaggerate the thought. And the key here with the exaggerated thought is to really exaggerate it, not just a little bit, but a lot. So let's give the example of if you are just going over in your head how, you're broke, I don't know, and you don't have a lot of money. And then, I'm not going to be able to buy Christmas presents. And and so when we're exaggerating it, so maybe you're focusing on that. You're not, you don't know what you're going to do about Christmas, right? So then let's exaggerate it. Okay, and then what if I can't pay my mortgage bill, or I can't pay the electric, I can't pay my mortgage, I can't, I lose my house, and then I end up on the street, and then I don't have any clothes, and I'm naked sitting on a bench, right? So you're exaggerating the thought to the point of ridiculousness, right? So that you kind of have this awareness of, okay, it's like not that bad, right? But obviously, if you're only exaggerating it a little bit, you're going to give yourself a little bit more anxiety. So you have to get it to a point where it's like, okay, I'm like going overboard, okay? And so that there's that space between that original thought. So what else? Okay, there's also a moving meditation. This is also really nice for beginners as well. So one of my favorites is to go for a walk, and when you are walking, being really mindful of what's going on around you. So maybe you're tuning in to certain sounds, like the chirping of the birds. You're just focusing on the chirping of the birds. Or maybe you're focusing on anything that you see that is blue, right? So we're tuning into the senses. Or really focusing on the bottom of your feet and that sensation of the feet touching the ground over and over again. And when we're tuning into one specific part of our senses, everything else can begin to melt away, and you have that same effect while you're having your eyes open. So these are just a few different ways of getting started, and I really encourage you to try it. As I've shared before, meditation has really been transformational in my life, and it's something that I share with my kids. Especially at night when I'm tucking them in is when I'll typically do it with them. And we'll do a lot of body scans. So starting at like their toes, and then, working up to their ankles and their calves and their knees, and like bringing their attention to each part of the body, breathing in and breathing out, is one that my daughter particularly likes. And there's one that's on Headspace that I started doing with them regularly too, taking a stuffed animal, putting that stuffed animal on your belly or on their belly, and then having them really inhale deeply so that when they do that, their belly's filling up with air, and you're kind of giving that stuffed animal a little ride. And in doing so, it's bringing obviously more oxygen to their body and relaxing them and getting them ready for bed. So these are tools that not only you can use yourself, but you can use with your kids, or share with anybody that you have in your life that is is struggling with whatever. I mean, I really feel like meditation can be an all-around helpful tool to calm the body and calm the mind, particularly if you're dealing with pain in your life too. It can help dissipate that in some ways by simply relaxing the body and focusing on the breath. So I hope that helps, and that I would love to hear if anybody is just getting started, or if you have a regular practice, what you've tried and what works best for you. And I'm sending so much love to all of you guys, and I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Talk to you later.